one series away now, especially if you're true neutral. They have made it to the grand finals in every single major. They won the fall major. They looked great in the winter major, and they're trying to keep that streak alive. But as the death showed, the future apparently is now. And we've even got PJ starting things off early with the first goal of the entire series.
A race with an amazing run through this entire event, making it to the semifinals, and PJ will start the scoring off 13 seconds into game number one. We'll see if they can keep it up here, or do True Neutral immediately bounce back.
Well, and that's so important because the race, as I look back on their previous results in the quarterfinals, it seemed like they were very momentum-based in the game they won against Euphoria. Every single game that they won in that best of 7, they won by at least 2 goals, which means that they have to start that striking spree early on. You want to see them get that first goal if you're a fan of these guys, and to see them come out with a strong shot like that from PJ, that's a great sign.
Here's Shad up for a shot. PJ will cover him up, and Sadness now picks it up on the wall. Taking it to the outside, Raise Bull. Put it back to midfield. Now PJ down towards Luke. Shad takes over control in the interception. Sadness out of the backfield. Now closing up the field. PJ putting pressure on as well. Sad takes a shot, but is blocked, and Shad will move up to take control in the corner. Looking for the pass to AJ. Nearly finds him there, but gets zoned off by Sadness. True Neutral will keep looking for that first goal. Pass across the box. Raise Bull's up for it. Defense jumps for it. Ball will just bounce multiple times before Sadness is able to put it over Shad with a bit of help from the other team. PJ with a dunk into the box. Raise Bull back to midfield. Connects with AJ. And Luke won't have the boost to reach it. Sadness has to make the save on the goal line.
And a lot of goal line saves have to come out from a race. They are being pressed now on the back line, forcing that rotation to come in just in time. But see a lot of aggression from True Neutral. I like what I'm seeing so far. I thought whenever we first got in here, the first maybe few minute or two, we would have all this pressure from a race. It's usually that team who gets the first goal just builds confidence and can start a tear, but it has not been the case at all. True Neutral looking good, and definitely can see this one going to an overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's PJ now off the backboard. He's got no one to contest, and he's able to hit the double tap cleanly. 2-0 now, PJ.
PJ, he doesn't stop. Game 1, he's got ice in his veins. Look at this man off the backboard, the lovely touch, and you get the follow-up. That was the perfect spot to hit it as well. PJ, you go any farther left, it's going to be an easier read for the defender. PJ knew exactly what he was doing and was able to execute on it.
Here's Luke Lowe looking for the must-need in the top corner. Oh, it gets blocked by Raise Bull, and he'll clear it off the backboard looking for AJ. Now AJ up against Sadness.
Here we go.
1v1. Luke's going to move in from the corner, and Sadness will challenge it early to avoid that goal line contest. But True Neutral now down by 2. Lots of pressure in enemy territory. Like you said, it's been a very even back-forth game, but they're actually struggling to find a lot of shots on target. So far, only 3, all of them from AJ.
Well, to me, it comes down to the decision-making. While True Neutral are able to transition out and get on offense, once they are in the offensive half, it seems like they're taking very awkward approaches to the ball. We just saw AJG about 20 seconds ago. He could have gone for a little bit of a dribble, but instead decided to take it into the corner and prevent himself from getting a shot. There's another chance missed from True Neutral. These guys, while it looks good, they have pressure, they're not testing the backboard defense or the goal line defense whatsoever, it feels like.
No, and in the moments where they do, it's just wide open like it was a few seconds ago, the shot completely whiffs, and a bit of a late double commit would take away their opportunity at a second attempt. Now Sadness with a long clear down the field will put a race back onto offense. Gets a bump high. PJ manages to hold on to control of this ball, but barely misses the second touch on the wall. Luke will close the gap, and Sadness now waiting for the pass across. Shad gets a touch, but Sadness in on the pressure. Shad will get the block, and PJ picks it up from the midfield line, but AJ's putting pressure on him. Now, over their shoulder, towards the goal, up against the one, onto the backboard. Where is the follow-up, though? Both True Neutral players sitting in the midfield line.
Oh, the double commit. Somebody's got to punish this. All 3 players, they are within so close to each other. I don't understand how you don't punish that. True Neutral, you see everybody jump, you've got to be aggressive. Try to get a demo, be physical with these guys, because opportunities don't come often. Another save from Erase. This defense not letting up, Waypunk.
Oh, AJ's got a whole open backboard, the whole lot to shoot at, and it finally won't miss. AJ's not going to miss that one. Double taps rain. 2-1 now as True Neutral's on the board.
Oh, I love that touch from Shad. He knew he was coming back on the rotation, and that's the decision that I was looking for. Something to encourage and benefit your teammate. That little pop-up from Shad gave AJG all the time in the world to not only get a perfect first touch, but find exactly where he needs to hit it off the backboard. They respond with a double tap of their own, but Sadness, excuse me, off the backboard. It's too clean from Erase.
Watch Sadness here. Up, no, faking you. Up, it's on the backboard. Shad's like, wait, what's supposed to do? AJ's like, crap. PJ shoots behind AJ. What a play. Erase coming up with fire in game 1.
I mean, that's just all Sadness in that play. You get the fake, and then you get the scoop under the ball. Normally, a player will just go for a little air dribble or some kind of small first touch, but Sadness was able to get that massive flick over the defense, set up the play, and PJ, he's got a hat trick to his name. Another miss. What is going on for True Neutral?
The accuracy from True Neutral is not there right now. AJ with an open net to shoot out, hooks it off the corner. Now Shad up against Sadness. He's got other players moving back, and PJ is rotating back with less boost. Says, hey, Sadness, I'm gonna buy you time to get more set up because you already have more resources than me, and tackles in the midfield. Brilliant stuff here from Erased in game 1.
Well, for Erased, it's all about the defense. It's really hard to shake them. And, you know, I mentioned physical play earlier on for True Neutral, but to be honest, I don't think that's going to be as effective as it would be against other teams because we had Fossey trying to do that in their previous series against Erased in quarters, but it wasn't working out. Fossey was averaging 2.6 kills per game. It didn't do anything. How do you shake up this team? Erased are here to play. They want to make it to that grand finals.
Oh, 4 shots and 4 goals for PJ. The man is insane right now. I need to find better adjectives for PJ. This is incredible what he's been putting up. 5 seconds left, game all but over here as that is Erased running away with it.
There we go.
I'm trying to think of if they had like replaying all of PJ's goals. I think the very first goal, a little bit of a dud of just kind of catching him out of position and rolling it into the goal. Every other one a banger though, especially with the assists from Sadness.
Yeah, I mean, this game serves a great example of having and what it's like, to have a consistent striker on your team, because when it comes down to that third man coming forward and being aggressive, you want to have him as accurate as possible. PJ, while the goals weren't the flashiest we've ever seen, they were so accurate and on target. PJ, the first goal, very, very simple, nice little cleanup, but they kept it going and kept giving this man opportunities when he's feeling himself.
Absolutely, but the pass from Sadness, and then I don't want to take anything away from PJ's shot placement there. AJ is coming across, covering the far side of the net. Managing to put the shot behind AJG there is critical. So PJ definitely a huge part of that, but Sadness with to dismantle the first 2 lines of defense. So big on that play there. Well, only 1 goal for True Neutral, a double tap from AJG. And he had 7 shots. So many times we saw AJ up for plays and the ball just go wide. If they can tighten up that accuracy, they'll have an opportunity to completely change this series. But right now, Erased absolutely in control.
That's the thing, True Neutral, they need a PJ of their own, and normally it comes down to Razebull. He's the guy who fills in that role that PJ does so well, being consistent, having that foundation of mechanics where it's not the flashiest thing we've ever seen, but it's so solid. We need to see that from True Neutral. Otherwise, you can see another game that is basically the exact same as game 1, where Erased destroy them on like consistency.
Razebull decidedly quiet in game number 1. PJ with a touch. Try and break up the defense there. Luke with the pass back in. Sadness to the corner, and he goes neutral with Shad. And on 2 challenges now, AJ to Razebull in the middle, gets double blocked in the air. Sadness closes on that so quickly. The only way to deal with a double commit situation like that, just take over the ball control in the moment it's loose. Brilliant stuff there as Erased dominate the midfield here in the first minute.
I mean, that's just so clutch from Sadness. He sees both of his teammates go for the same ball, and a lot of times these players will decide to rotate back just out of sheer caution. But for Sadness, he knows how to handle that situation and knows the best play is to be aggressive and take it away from True Neutral as soon as you can. Lovely rotation, and he's doing so much work for his team that feels like it's going unnoticed. He's almost like the hero in disguise for Erased. We've had PJ scoring all the goals, but Sadness, he's behind it.
Here's Raze. Off the ceiling, back down towards AJ. Shad just hanging on the back line, has to quickly half flip though. It's very a forward back line position. Get his own corner boost. They won't get starved immediately, but Sadness down to the backboard. There's AJG down the field. Shad chasing this one. Luke's still grounded here as Shad takes it to the corner. Looks for the tap off the wall. Sets it up out of the corner, but the rest of his team sitting in midfield. And that was the thing you pointed out midway through game number 1 that I feel like is still continuing a bit here in game 2. Just a passive midfield presence from True Neutral when they get a good challenge into the corner. Not pressuring that opportunity and really putting pressure on the back third of Erased.
It's a little bit awkward. It's kind of stop and go so far for True Neutral, almost like they're at like some kind of traffic light, you know, and they're waiting and they're following the rules a little bit too closely. They just pause their rotations and don't keep the aggression up, and that gives Erased a lot of time to make up for mistakes, and that's what happens when we see double commits. Erased, even in the last game, I think there was a triple commit on the ball, but True Neutral were too passive in the midfield and didn't have the decision-making skills to go forward, and that resulted in no punishment, and we're still seeing shots coming off the backboard on target, and Erased are able to handle them.
Ray's doing an excellent job at their back third. Yeah, so their opportunity. They nearly made me a liar, but they cleared off the line. I think it's Demolition in midfield to take control back. Here's Sadness now. With some control, a delayed flip across the box. But they're just happy to have gotten that goal out. 2 minutes left here in game 2. No goals in this game, though. Everybody has slowed things down and managed to keep their net clean. Significantly fewer opportunities for PJ to score.
Absolutely. Well, it seems like True Neutral have tightened up their defense for sure. The offense still a little bit weak, I'd say, but the possession still there. Shad off the backboard. Maybe he gets the read. He does, but it's off. Barely yet again. It's that accuracy that is plaguing True Neutral. The opportunities coming more and more, but they can't find that goal.
Sadness having to play this into his back third. Played across his goal, just didn't have many options. He could have passed the loop, but that would have been more dangerous than taking it onto the backboard. So just dribbles it out. Now Rays and Shad able to take over control, get it across and into the box again. But AJG has to respect the position of the rest of the players. Off the ceiling, flip reset, plays it to the edge. It's wide of the goal. PJ challenged into the box. Rays ball up against Luke. Ball pinches high. Final minute. No goals in game 2. AJG tried too high once again. Luke wins the challenge to put it into the enemy back third on the counterattack. In front of the box. Sadness going to try, but Shad will cover him up from behind. We'll hold on for just a moment longer.
Wow.
42 seconds left. Still no goals in game 2.
True Neutral sitting on 6 shots. We've had so many countless opportunities for them, and yet we're scoreless. 0-0. Erased have had 2 shots. We've got Sadness with 1, PJ with 1. And we're just coming down to a close game. Even whenever Erased are stuck on defense, you think it's going to take 1 counterattack for PJ to be in position, and it's over.
Here's Sadness, 15 seconds left. Overtime looking likely in game 2. Here's PJ on a final attempt, places it on target. AJ gets there, follow from Sadness, pressuring him in. Onto the backboard once more. PJ quickly turns back, gets demolished to open up space, and now Ray's ball. He's going to try and keep it alive at 0 seconds, but no, it'll hit the ground here. Shad actually keeps it to the backboard. There's PJ to put it in the ground. Overtime in game 2.
Almost saw a punishment. I would like to see True Neutral dribble a bit more. That's where I talked about the decision making. There has been a couple of times where AJG is behind the ball and could go for that dribble, maybe get a solid flick, but gets an early shot on net. Much easier to defend if you are Erased. Maybe try to swap it up or switch it up a little bit, excuse me. Raise ball into the corner, maybe something here off the backboard. AJG, the accuracy. They can't find it yet again.
But Shad had a lot of space. The defense had to bite pretty heavily. Now he's pressuring in, trying to give the ball to Raise Bull. It's across the field. Raise Bull puts it up high. Is AJG anywhere to take the shot? He wants to so badly. The pass for Raise Bull, but the block from Sadness. Oh, lightning quick reflexes from both players, and the defense ekes out the win.
Oh, and another save. Sadness. He's always in the spot he needs to be, but you're questioning this defense. How much longer? PJ had an interception there.
What is PJ doing?
I have no idea. It's going for a pinch across the net. This is ridiculous, but I'm loving every second.
He took to the sky so aggressively. and I loved the play. His team, I don't know, just couldn't quite get the pass off.
Yeah.
But gets a bump on Shad. AJ's having to chase this one, having to dodge his descending teammate. A demolition on the Raise Bull should give them some space, but AJ's still putting pressure on the back line. Now Sadness trying to find this block. Just barely misses, and Luke has to cover it up. Rotations in force here. This shot's going to totally turn on this. 1v1. Tries to play it. PJ just tackles him, sends it away. What a game.
I'm telling you, there's no hesitation with that third man on defense from Erase. A lot of times, like I said, the players who are last back and they see a dribble, you automatically and instinctively go towards net because you're a bit scared, but we don't see any of that from Erase. There is zero hesitation from them, and they're winning those challenges so early on.
Oh, barely wide again. PJ now off the ceiling with a flip reset to work with. Goes for the pinch with Sadness, and he'll go to the back third. It's past AJ as well. He's got to follow this onto the wall. Misses on the vertices there. Drops to PJ back into the corner. Nearly put it on Sadness's nose. PJ to chase this one down, but Shad gets it over the top of him into the midfield. Luke now booms it to the sky. AJ to connect with Raisebolt. Blocked to the point of contact by Sadness. Shad just has to slow things down. He doesn't get a second touch here. Can he get a third? No. It's lofted high for Sadness to try and chase after. And we'll stall things out with lateral motion in the midfield for a moment, but the pressure from Erase, they just go all gas, no brakes, over and over again.
If that 50 would have gone the other way and been on, or accurate, excuse me, and on net, it could have been the end of OT. Luke with the follow-up, maybe the pass to the midfield, the worst bounce you could have asked for. That one went up and over. 12 shots for true neutral, 0 goals. Meanwhile, Erase sitting at 5. The opportunities are starting to come more and more now for Erase. They're finding that offensive power, and they're getting used to rotations in that midfield.
Sadness. Oh, the shot is just a bit high. Follow from Luke will go completely neutral, and PJ barely gets his bumper on that to take it away from Shad. Now Sadness back to PJ. He's picked up full loose in the corner. Back in. Can his teammate find in the third man? No, he's got to play defense, and Luke finds the block. PJ, quick turn. 1v1 against AJ. He'll flick very early. AJ went for second touch, a delayed play, and is able to scoop the ball cleanly. But now Luke with a flip reset past one. Shad to play it out of the box. Man, back and forth every moment. A possible game ender.
Yeah, it's just coming down to one single challenge, and that's the one from Erase, that last man back. I said there's no hesitation, but sometimes it does look a little bit risky. I'm not gonna lie, like Luke right there in that situation. While he won the challenge, it's very dangerous. If that goes the other way, that's where we see True Neutral finally get that goal they've been waiting and working towards all game long.
Erased feels more efficient on offense right now, just with their touches in general, but they cannot get through the back line of True Neutral. Meanwhile, True Neutral, the barrage is just constantly, just slightly wide of the goal. And AJ wins 2 challenges, but this second touch puts it high. He's going to have to force another teammate to come in and make the actual shot, and that gave the defense time to get back in position. Now Luke off the backboard. What
PJ's
a clear. AJ does not manage to get this one out of his corner. Follow up.
Wide.
Oh, it's just wide. That was a crazy attack. Again, the efficiency just barely off from Erased in this situation.
Right, and the efficiency was there, similar to how True Neutral moved up on offense, but the accuracy, it's not finding its way to the back of the net. Erased, maybe this is something the demo attempt. He's so smart. The composure was there, but it wasn't enough. I thought Raisebolt clutched out this horrific situation, but it wasn't enough.
Man, that's so frustrating for Raisebolt, right? He's getting pressured. There's an air dribble. He manages to dodge the demo and take the ball away from the air dribble, but the touch he made did nothing. It just put the ball right in front of the box. The third man to close on. Erased scores the only goal on top of 6 saves he put up here. But man, the stat I look at the most here, Turtle, you already pointed out the 12 shots from True Neutral. The back line of Erased honestly doesn't feel like ascendedly strong or something.
Yeah, no.
It's just True Neutral not forcing them to make saves.
Well, and when they are forcing them to make saves, usually it's not even on net, to be honest with you, True Neutral. And the weird thing is, though, that they have 12 shots, but they've been sitting at 12 shots for a couple of minutes. Like, I've been seeing that stat for quite some time in overtime. Things shifted once we saw Erased move down the field a little bit stronger and started controlling the midfield boost. And I just also wanted to point out that for True Neutral, they look so strong on defense, but when they get that transition out, you're finding shots on net. You're not finding the accuracy. What do you do instead? They need to switch things up to get that shot, that final opportunity a little bit easier and less chaotic, because if you can't find the accuracy, something has got to shift. If you're not warming up by now, they should be hitting these, and they finally are. Raisebolt. You're not going to miss that one.
Yeah, and a small miss here. Who was this? Sadness. Oh, just barely doesn't have the read to kind of take the poor shot, put it onto the backboard away from Raisebolt. And finally, True Neutral do what they couldn't do in, 8 minutes of gameplay in game 2.
Man.
are on the board.
I'm surprised we haven't seen them get a little bit over desperate, because a lot of times those teams are just so frustrated. You got 12 shots, 0 goals, you're overextending. You are upset. You needed one to finally break the curse, and Razebull does exactly that. The player we want to see step up. You know, in the pre-show yesterday, they talked about Razebull potentially being the MVP of the entire season. And he's trying to prove that right here.
No!
Shad, the own goal forced on the back line of Erase.
Watch this. Sadness is overcommitted here. He goes, crap, I'm too far upfield, and now he's diving back just to make a desperate save, and actually ends up own goaling. Tragic for Sadness there. True neutral, hey, they'll take those. We'll take anything that helps our goals get in the net is great for us right now.
Well, there's that shaky backline defense we were talking about. You know, True Neutral, it's not like we had seen the greatest defense out of Erase. True Neutral were just off on their shots, but the pressure seems to finally be getting to Erase, and they can't handle that suffocation on defense.
Oh, it's just the little movements, too, of Sadness just the decision before the actual defensive touch of moving up field and being like, oh dear, I'm caught in no man's land and I'm the third man. I have to pull back over here. Raise block the ceiling onto the backboard. PJ, gets dunked into the heaven by AJ here for goal number 3.
I don't even know if he touched his ball though. Look at this. I think Razebull was gonna get it, and then he went forward, and there's no contact on the ball. PJ, why aren't you flipping into that? We didn't even get a challenge. True Neutral are running away with game 3.
A collapse from Erased here in game 3. Maybe, they're gonna try and break some axles here. Gets it across. PJ puts a dunk on him as well. Oh, they're rebuilding.
All right, PJ, you've made up for it completely by being in position. Luke, the mind game, and then the perfect flick out to the left side. PJ's in position like usual, and they start this comeback.
That was brilliant. Oh, Luke, I'm still thinking about the mind game. That was so cool.
We haven't been saying his name too much, so it's nice to see him get on the board there.
Yeah, and putting more pressure here on offense as he puts another one into the box. And a boost steal from Sadness here, but AJ gets final touch to put it to midfield. Now back to the edge. Here's Shad over the top of one. Luke now into the midfield for Sadness. Nice infield pass. And blocked. Well read from a ways away. True Neutral getting the defense and starting to tighten up the midfield a bit. Area that Erased has been doing excellent at controlling this entire series.
I think they're anticipating the aggression from Erased a little bit more. Like, we just saw PJ go up super early in the midfield, and while True Neutral lost that challenge, they had somebody else shadowing behind him, realizing that he's probably going to lose that challenge. But here's a double commit. Okay, now's the chance for a punishment from Luke. He's trying to go for a midfield pass, but the first touch was not good. And this could be a counterattack for Razebull. Didn't get the 50-50, and now we've just got kickball between both teams.
Wow, what a read. PJ with the save on the double tap. And Shad now with Razebull behind him. Going for another one. Sadness over the top of one. He's out of boost. AJ's going to have this ball for free. Sends it to the goal, and Luke gets the save. True Neutral tightening up the accuracy and forcing saves out of Erased. And look how trapped they are on defense because of it. PJ finally with a bit of space, and he will win a challenge in midfield. Desperately needed to give them opportunity to refill the tanks. Luke will have some more space here to connect with PJ in an empty backfield. As AJ can reach this, he will. Okay, take that one away. But the Sadness with a read. Back into the corner. Back and forth affair from these teams. Only a 2-goal deficit, but True Neutral looking in different form here in game 3.
True Neutral are doing a great job of building up that wall on defense and blocking that pass that's trying to get through to PJ. PJ, a lot of times, since he's so aggressive, he kind of goes on the backboard and waits for a massive clear to come out. But True Neutral have recognized that, and they're getting up earlier to these challenges. But speaking of challenges, nobody was there for that pass out into the midfield from Luke, and it was turned away and put into the corner, but a little bit slower from True Neutral. Either way, they look solid in this game, Wavefunk, and they have made a huge turnaround.
They have Erased also with still here and there. Sadness demolished there. An important play as PJ put into the backboard, and Sadness could have reached for a shot. But right before that, Erased with another pretty grotesque double commit in the midfield, going unpunished yet again, but not turning into more offensive pressure for them as well. Sadness. Cross one, Raised now trying to trap to the midfield. Sadness will cover him up, takes the ball away from him. It bounces at midfield. Neutral challenge in the sky, but AJ will get the most of it.
Like right there, look at Shad. You can see him in the interception lane. He knows exactly where to position himself. That's what True Neutral have really recognized. It's great to see them come out here and see those passes and understand how to predict them. Shad then getting up early. You're wasting so much valuable time off the clock from one single 50-50 alone. And on top of that, all the boost from Erased, it's gone. It's nowhere to be found. And they love every second of this possession.
Yeah, this possession is the game-winning drive at this point for True Neutral. Just hold it down here in the back, and Erased will not be able to come back from this deficit. There's one demolition, though. Some space possibly bought. Sadness going to have to get this ball to Luke. Can he get it back to his teammates who are both in front of him on the left side? He's going to try by himself instead. And now 2 challenges up. That'll bait PJ out of the back line. And Sadness in a rough situation. Doesn't have time to pick up that boost. And Shad will take it away from him across the Raise Bull. Towards the goal. Luke will get a save. The pressure's on, though, and it's all that matters at this point.
Yeah.
True Neutral come back in Game 3 with style to get their first win of the series.
At this point, it almost feels like it was planned to drop those first 2 games, as stupid as that sounds. It's like True Neutral had absorbed every game plan, every strategy Erased had, and were prepared for coming into this series. And True Neutral now are able to play the counterattack, give them some kryptonite, and that is the midfield interceptions. They're getting in between those passes. The shooting accuracy has increased, and True Neutral have shifted the momentum, completely in their favor.
It was lull them into a false sense of security. Just give them game 1. They'll think they're great. If PJ goes in for a shot, just let him have it. He'll get it all in his own head, and then we can just demolish them in the next few games. That'd be a wild strategy. I would love to hear that that's what they were thinking there. But either way, True Neutral looking excellent here in Game 3. And the biggest difference for me was the accuracy and the amount of times they were actually putting the shots on target and forcing Erased to make diving saves. By forcing them to make saves, they're not able to clear as well. They're not able to focus on their own positioning. They actually have to focus on keeping goals out of the net. Yeah. And that forcing them to kind of put an extra touch in between defense and transition, gives True Neutral so much more time to stay on offense.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, the ball is in Erased courts, or the ball is in Erased court at this point, because like, how do they respond? I think you could go for more solo plays. That's what worked with Luke whenever he went for the mind game, and he was able to really throw the defense pretty much out of the way, because everybody bid on that challenge from Luke. And if the passes aren't connecting, you just got to take it yourself. Go for the dribble. Try to make some moves downfield and make a difference, because True Neutral, they've got all that energy.
True Neutral coming back in the series, forcing at least Game 5. Sadness, the top of 1. And he's got PJ to pass to here, but AJ won't give him any opportunities out the backboard. Luke with a full tank's going to get 2 players up for this. PJ's just got to wait for the fall, but they get enough of a bumper onto it, and Raise Bull will clear it off to the edge, put PJ out of position. Sadness now in the backfield and try and keep the pressure in midfield. Connects with Luke. Raise Bull here nearly gets blocked by PJ, but he will get it to the back line and get a demolition onto Sadness here. As AJ's going to try and put it off the backboard. Luke dodges a demolition and gets to midfield, but PJ will extend it. Luke doesn't have enough boost to really play. It's Sadness sends a triple threat. AJ manages to stay patient and block the final shot.
Oh, that was so awkward. For Erased, there was a 2v1 situation, and that's a routine moment where you will have somebody go for the bump. In that situation, it was Sadness, and then Luke goes for the dribble. But Sadness hesitated a bit on going for the demo, and then took the ball instead. A massive opportunity thrown away from Erased.
With 350, I mean, and props to AJ for just hanging on. Saying, all right, you're not challenging me. I'm just waiting for the shot. It's still a difficult situation for AJ, because either player could shoot. Even with Sadness in the air, he could be going for the fake. We've seen them fake already. We've seen Sadness in particular fake in the air already this series. But either way, I agree that it goes from a slam dunk play that you got a 90% chance of working to like a 75% chance of Raise Bull. Comes back, PJ makes the save on the goal line, and now looks for a follow-up clear, but Shad shuts him down. Sadness has to take over control on the backboard and then bounce the ball off the ground, bumps AJ, puts the ball in front of the box. Sadness doing a lot of work there. If only he had a teammate to pick up control.
What I was also watching PJ from his perspective, and he wasn't even on defense that entire possession from True Neutral. He was on the other side taking boost and going for bumps on, I believe it was Raise Bull, so maybe that's a new strategy they're trying to implement. You can even see him now going in and stealing that corner boost. So when somebody rotates back from True Neutral, they won't have boost to work with, and they can't get back in the play too fast. But I guess it doesn't matter. That 2v2 is working and going in favor of True Neutral.
Yeah, it's not going to matter if AJ keeps winning challenges like that.
Yeah.
There's Luke with a lot of boost. Got a flip reset. Wasn't able to do much with it, though, and PJ's going to try and cover him up. Somehow, PJ gets to that ball first and goes it into the corner. Luke will bump one off. Sadness into the corner. Going to chase this down himself. Gets it back to Luke towards the backboard. But AJ in the air just gets the block. And now Shad picking up control. Both Sadness And Luke going to be a little low on boost traveling back. We'll have to play clean defense.
I'm surprised we haven't seen too many double tap attempts from True Neutral. There has been space and a lack of rotation on the backboard from Erase. I think that if True Neutral wants to prioritize that, it could be pretty effective because it seems to be a little bit slower from Erase. So maybe we'll see more mechanics coming out. We are expecting that in this region, especially. Racebull, here's an attempt now. The backboard, I was talking about it. He had the shot, but the accuracy, it wasn't there. It was almost a perfect moment, but unfortunately, Racebull, not enough.
Oh, demolition on a Racebull could open some space, but AJ's right there and just keeps the challenge neutral. AJ and Shad going to do defense by them or play offense by themselves here. And Shad now looking for the pass down to Racebull. Luke will get it behind them, and AJ has to play defense now on the third man. He'll have the space with the ball, though. Get it clear. Luke with a quick read here. Sadness down to the backboard, and AJ just constantly, every touch he makes, forces a race to reposition. Oh. AJ now down the field. Racebull to reach for this one. Couldn't quite find it. It's going to drop in for AJ to an open net, and True Neutral will take goal number 1 of Game 4.
And everybody's got to pay attention right now to Racebull. He is a nuisance. He's going up for that ball, and while he doesn't make any solid contact, Sadness sees him in the air and has to make a decision. You assume Racebull gets a touch, and you adjust your own positioning going to that challenge. You don't get the right hit. You don't even get a touch that goes in your favor, and you give away a free one to True Neutral because of the pressure. Almost a shot. What is going on? This is so back and forth, Wade.
Great aerial passes. Sadness all over a double tap. Gets it to PJ, puts it back, and it bounces out. No way. Oh, that's so
PJ.
sad. Here's Sadness now trying. AJ will block him. Luke with a lot of space in the back. But Racebull wins the challenge as he dives down the field. Oh, you're just kicking yourself if you're in a race fan right now.
What happened to PJ in Game 1? Where was that accuracy? We have been seeing him so crucial and clinical in those moments. He's not able to get the goal for Erased, and that is why they're still trailing. 30 seconds left, though. Plenty of time, unless AJG gets the pass off. He does, and it's safe from Luke, keeping him alive. There is a chance for Erased. 21 seconds left.
Here's Sadness. Looking for Luke's got AJ though in the passing lane, and he blocks it again. Luke will try to close on it to buy time, and PJ will win the second challenge, but the entire team just committed to trying to win a challenge. So there's no one to take control. PJ out the backboard. He's got to hit this shot. Oh, it drops down. Luke keeps it high. Sadness is going to try, but Shad will just clear it over the top of him. He's got enough boost to chase it, burn it all to the ground. True Neutral, 2 games in a row. We've tied up the series.
My goodness, what a comeback from True Neutral. They started out in this series looking pretty abysmal. I'm not gonna lie, the defense was all over the place. Whenever they come out on offense, the accuracy, they couldn't find it. Things have completely changed, and I think that's due to Racebull's aggression. That one single goal that we saw from True Neutral was because Racebull was so aggressive, getting in the way of Erase. It doesn't even matter if you make contact, just applying that little bit of added pressure makes all the difference.
No, we pointed out in games 1 and 2, the problem with True Neutral was passivity, just giving space to Erased. And the big thing, if you think back to all of the crazy goals PJ scored, he had so much space, so much time to make those shots. It actually doesn't surprise me that he misses the one shot here in this game, because it's such a lightning quick, pinpoint accurate shot he had to make. Very different from the stylish stuff we saw in games 1 and 2.
That's just painful. We saw it again on the replay package, and I'm watching that setup. Everything was there for PJ. Like you said, you have to have lightning quick reactions, but still, that's one of those things. If you want to make it to the grand finals, you've got to be putting those away. You're only going to get so many more chances just like that. PJ looks to make a difference going into game number 5 of it.
Grand final teams don't get the excuse, I didn't have time. Oh, Sadness put it behind 2. Shad puts it in front now. Racebull carry this one away. PJ stopping in the midfield, and Shad will try. Sadness now setting up PJ, but actually bumps PJ on his return flight down. PJ will kind of get neutralized on that play. Sadness up. PJ to the outside. Back in for Luke. Gonna try and reach this one, but he's too slow. AJ, the pressure continues, and True Neutral's up first.
And this is exactly what they needed. Somebody taking initiative. You've got AJG. He's aggressive. He's not waiting far back in midfield. He's anticipating a winning challenge from his own teammate of Shad in that corner. Has the best positioning possible, and that speed, of course, it's all there and connecting for AJG.
Sadness trying to challenge the corner. Luke will get a ball here and put it under the backboard. Dangerous. Raise Bulls touches down, and AJ gets cleared. Raise Bulls has to reach this. No, he gets just enough of it, and Shad will be able to put it to the corner. Now PJ and Luke both up at the same time, both with completely open backfield. AJ gets the second goal.
What is going on for the defense of Erased? At first, we saw a couple of double commits, but nothing to the extent of what we just witnessed. That was a very painful play to watch, and I'm sure Erased are going to be feeling the pressure after that. You've got 2 goals now that you have to score with 4 minutes left, plenty of time, but one of the worst ways you can start out any game.
Luke, the backboard again. Down 2 goals in the first minute. Bad start indeed, especially with the open nets. AJ now, Raise Bull and Chat both up for this one, and Shad on the dual threat. Lucas the block, follow-up just barely sent wide. Sadness now trying on the follow-up here with PJ down the field. He's gonna get one shot at this, but he can't find the ball in time. The ball is moving too quickly. Luke drops this one into the box.
What is going on?
Sadness and PJ. PJ can't miss. Okay, it just rolls in finally.
Wait.
What a challenge.
I think this might be the slowest goal we've seen throughout this entire major. Everybody's in the air. Everybody is flying. That is one of the goofiest goals I've ever seen, but I loved it. My goodness, these teams, you can see the pressure and how much they're feeling it with the emotions of that play.
That was, yeah, that was something else. I kind of wish PJ hadn't touched the ball, so it had rolled as slowly as possible.
Yeah.
Whatever that number would have been. PJ now off the wall. Past one. Raised ball to the corner. And Erased will take that goal, making it a one-goal game after the start they had there. They're happy just to get on the board.
Well, I mean, I'd say that's even more frustrating from true neutral. It's like you concede a goal to maybe a solid double tap or a really strong hit from midfield from Erased, but to give away a goal like that where it just rolls in, going so slow, you're frustrated, and you've got to make another move downfield to get that added security back.
Here's PJ on the counterattack. AJ will block. Raise Bull will fake off one, and Sadness plays it back to the corner. AJ's got to fall back again. Enough of a bumper onto it to block the first shot. And then able to crowd Erased out of the corner. PJ just takes the shot from midfield. Raise Bull will make the save, and he's got enough time to turn it into a clear as well. Another one challenge from True Neutral, and these midfield challenges going consistently more and more in True Neutral's way. Huge part of what has them up and with momentum in this series.
Oh, Raise Bull. Oh my goodness. Oh, and the bump. What? It looked perfect. Where was the second follow-up? It doesn't matter. They're still in the lead. Maybe trying to be a little bit more passive, going for that cautious play style. But that was a great opportunity presented from Raise Bull. He's been doing that more and more. It's like the first 2 games, like we said, he was feeling it out, trying to understand the play style of Erased. But now, after knowing how to break down the other team, he's gone full aggro.
Oh, 3 players up for this. AJ and we'll get the clear. Shad falls back down, but the pass infield to Luke, and it actually takes a True Neutral pinch. PJ will have a lot of space in this corner, but very limited boost to work with. And he's going to have to just use the woodwork and jumps to get this one down the field. He does so well. Now Sadness up against 2 players. It's across the box, but he puts too much power on it. It goes to Shad in the far corner.
PJ's up.
Tries to challenge. PJ with the loft. Luke now. Okay, with PJ on the outside. Can he get there in time? Places it up for 90, but it's just too high. The follow-up, no, not there. Luke now tries to get to the Sadness. Soft play past one, but AJ will get a clear. PJ knew that clear was coming and looks for the block. He'll neutralize it in midfield, but nothing else to show for it on that one. Final minute of Game 5. Winner is on match point.
Erased looks so eager to get up to these shots and just throw everything they have towards the other side. And you can understand why with how great they started out. They have been just on a downward spiral with not only these challenges, they're controlling the boost even. This is an interesting thing I wanted to point out. PJ has been taking every single corner boost in True Neutral's half. He's been taking all the midfield boosts, but that's not enough. True Neutral, they pick up every pad. They've got perfect rotation, and they do not let up, even when they're low on boost. It's phenomenal to see.
18 seconds left, though. The 1-goal lead from True Neutral might be enough. A demolition from Raise Bull puts it into his own corner. He's happy to buy time. Luke gets a counter demolition, but here's Sadness. A lot of space. Getting challenged by Shad. Can he get it past him? They neutralize it clean on the ground. It's onto the wall for a moment, but look at True Neutral just kill this clock. PJ's pinch goes across. Is Luke there? He's gonna, Sadness tries to come from the backfield, but no, True Neutral put it into the ground, and they're 1 win away from the grand finals.
This is ridiculous. I shuffled through all 3 players on True Neutral, and all of them had less than 30 boost as that ball hit the ground. They are so efficient, not only with the pads, but also it seems like with their flips alone to keep the momentum going forward, because as we all know, Rocket League, it's so momentum based. If you stop one time in a rotation, that could be the end. True Neutral have found their stride. They are clutching up even without boost wave pump.
No, I think you pointed out momentum and maintaining it there. It's also the interesting thing about like the ball's momentum. It's the one object that can't create momentum in and of itself. You have to give it momentum. The thing that I loved there was Ray's Bowl moving in and neutralizing the ball. The fact that the ball like just hit a dead stop on the ground at 4 seconds left is a huge problem for a race to play 0-second ball. The only way you play buzzer beaters is just keeping the ball pinging around to where it's moving sideways faster than it's moving downwards with gravity. The moment he kills it like that, they've got to commit a lot of boost just to get the ball moving again to where they can possibly take those shots. Ruined any chance that they had of scoring that buzzer beater to send us to overtime. And now into game 6, True Neutral, after dropping games 1 and 2, 3 straight are 1 away from a grand final against Rebel.
I mean, True Neutral, they can see the finish line now in the distance. You've got to close it out, keep up that play style, but you cannot count out Erased at this point with what we saw in the beginning and also within the last, I'd say, 2 games. It has been so close. Even right now, all this pressure, it's all starting for PJ. Once he starts connecting again, it could be over. There's the first one, and that is how you take the first step towards getting a game 7.
What did we say? Do not give PJ time alone with the ball. While Luke's the one who scores the final shot, and I mean, props to Luke on the fake there on the final defender to just give him a completely open net to shoot at. PJ dismantled everything else there. What a challenge win in the air as well. And Erased are back on top. Can they hold on to it this time? They've struggled in the scoring department ever since game 1. They've only scored 1 goal at most in a game.
Here we go. Maybe something from True Neutral to respond. We've got Raisebo being as aggressive as ever, but Luke is up early and nobody was challenging from True Neutral. A bit interesting. They're letting them take shots on net. PJ, he has been looking for that midfield upper 90 shot. The question is, when will he get it in this series?
Luke on his challenge, he had a completely empty back half here. Oh, the air dribble bump! Shad puts it into the goal. Cruise missile engaged for the tie game.
I mean, this is why flip resets are so effective, because you keep the momentum with your flip going forward, and then you can also find the bump attempt on the goalkeeper. You're doing so much in one play, Shad. What an equalizer.
Man, exciting first minute after such close games for the past few here in the series. We've gotten a goal each in the first minute. PJ now on the outside as Sadness tries to pass to him. PJ will connect with it. Raisable now out to AJ. AJ struggling to reach that ball. His can only make 1 touch, but it is a shot on target. So, but the follow-up attack on the backboard. Defense super loose. Here comes Sadness with a follow-up. Clashing in. AJ will cross the goal and make the stop, but the pressure's still here from Erased. Sadness to Luke with PJ behind. Very low on boost, and AJ will just hold on to the ball on the backboard to break things up and get them back onto offense. True Neutral looking for the lead.
What has happened to the Erased accuracy that we saw within the first 2 games that they took in this series? They were on point. PJ hitting every single shot. Maybe it was, a matter of, the quality of those opportunities. Either way, though, even there, we saw PJ get it past the midfield. Luke hit it above the crossbar. They are creating opportunities and finding ways to generate them, but when you can't find execution, you're going to run into the same problem time and time again, and that is a True Neutral team that's ready to get a counterattack.
Here's PJ. The outside for Sadness. He's got Luke in the midfield. Just takes the shot. AJ is going to get dunked underneath by Luke, but it was still wide of the goal and needed help. Sadness, what a trap here. PJ's up for this one quickly. Can he connect back to Sadness? Sadness maybe too far past, but Shad had the passing lane covered up either way. And now Luke through 1. PJ into the corner. 1 player here. 3 versus 1, and Raise Bulls gets onto that ball quickly to take it away from Raise.
That could have been another play where PJ had gone for the demo. There was a 2v1 situation, 1 goalkeeper waiting in net. Two players from Erase stuck in the same spot. Nobody goes forward. They are too hungry to get touches on this ball instead of trying to put in work elsewhere on the field. It's cost them a lot of opportunities. Erase, they continue though with the pressure. Maybe something will end up going the wrong way for True Neutral and they will fold under that pressure.
You know, it's not often that I say this. I'm usually a proponent of be as efficient as possible, as few touches between defense and taking a shot as possible. But I think Erased maybe right now could benefit from putting one more kink into their pass plays here. They're doing the simple 1-2 infield pass, just put the ball to midfield and have that guy crank it at the net. And True Neutral are literally blocking the shots as they're happening in front of the ball. They are just on the other side of the ball. If they were able to pass that ball just one more time, it's going to really change things up for
my goodness.
AJ gets it away. PJ just barely couldn't sneak it under the crossbar.
I just feel bad for PJ at this moment. No bias whatsoever because he's not finding the accuracy. My goodness, it's both teams now unable to find it. But PJ, he's looking so good. He has the mechanics. He's just centimeters off, and AJG, he's not off whatsoever. The corner spot has been found. True Neutral. They've got it in the bag.
Oh, Shad with the ceiling flip reset.
Oh my goodness.
To get the pass to AJ, who finds the only shot available to him given the defensive positioning and takes the lead back. 1 minute left here in game number 6. True Neutral hold on. They're in the finals against Rebel.
We might need to run that one back as well. If that's the goal that gets them to the grand finals, that is so much relying on Shad to make that play, and he executed. But like you said, there is time. 45 seconds. A big clear PJ. He is downfield every time for the pass, but cannot connect. He's got 40 seconds to change that. Otherwise, they're going home.
True Neutral are too fast. Does not matter how efficient PJ and company are, there's always a defender in the way here. Open backfield. PJ has to hit the shot. Straight into the goal. It goes. Okay. They finally find him with an opening. We got a tie game with 27 seconds left.
Oh, my goodness. This is what we're waiting for. This is it. PJ finally finds the mark. Could this be the start to the comeback from Erased to get that game 7 that everybody wants to see? My goodness. Maybe we just get overtime that goes on for forever. Either way, I'm going to be happy.
Either way, this has been a wonderful, fantastic series that both teams can be proud of. Here's Shad to the outside post. It's just wide of the goal. PJ to take his time. He's out of boost here, up against Raise Bulls with a full tank. The challenge comes underneath on the, I think it's the retreating player from True Neutral. Put that one into their back half, but not going to matter. It's back to midfield. Here's PJ to the empty corner. AJ's going to try and reposition. PJ waits for this ball to put it over the top of him. Final second, ball staying alive. Sadness to the backboard. AJ just going to try and kill its momentum to put it into the ground, and it will do exactly that. Overtime in game 6. True Neutral score. The series ends.
And if it follows the same trend as this game alone, it's going to be a lot of backboard reads from True Neutral and then getting that counterattack going forward. Almost a team bump. This one, is it going to go in? How was this found? I have been talking about this man connecting on the shooting. He finally does it with a 50? What?
Oh, you saw it. So the two players, him and the one defender, PJ and the defender up on the wall, like locked with their wheels. The defender says, hey, I'm just going to take a back pass here. You don't realize that's exactly the touch PJ was trying to make. He's like, oh, thank you. I'm just going to follow this and dunk it in the corner. And somehow it doesn't hit the post there, PJ. 6 shots, an assist, and 2 goals here to send us to game 7, Turtle.
I think he deserved that. Honestly, that was that life. You know, it's all about a balance. Okay, DJ had missed literally every shot. He looked so good. He was making solid contact, but was just this close to getting the goal. Finally, something does go his way, and you can see that it's just all smiles in the face cam. And it started. That was an awkward mistake. I mean, maybe if True Neutral didn't make that one issue at the beginning, this could have been a completely different game. Either way, we got game 7. I'm happy with.
It's crazy, absolutely crazy, and. Erased had a number of opportunities to shoot at empty nets over the course of this series, and the fact that they finally find the back of one to send them to overtime there feels good for the Erased fans to say, okay, we're not giving up the free ones as much here, but can they hold on? The definition of a good team in Rocket League is being able to close out series, and they've all gotten to game 7 here. Who plays against Rebels? We'll find out here in about 5 minutes.
I mean, right away, we've got the possession, the pressure from Erased. It is continuing off of that momentum in the previous game, but at what point will True Neutral start utilizing that backboard double tap and exposing Erased defense?
Here's PJ looking for the backboard. The guillotine trying to drop, but getting held up by Ray's Bull. Now Shad to the outside. As Luke takes the shot, AJ gets a save, and Ray's Bull will chase this one on the edge, gets it underneath Sadness, then follows it himself. PJ's there to take over. He's not going to have much with this particular trajectory of the ball, though. He's going to have to give it to a teammate. Sadness finds it. PJ with a pass back to Sadness, who was not ready for that pass. Here's Luke now. The bump's coming through from Sadness, but they managed to get away, get regrounded, and get up and block the ball. Defense being played well by True Neutral, who have been trapped in their half in the first minute.
Well, and that was a very, very good opportunity there for Luke, and he did exactly what you had been asking for, Wavepunk, in the previous few games. You wanted them to slow things down because of how eager True Neutral were to get to the challenges. If Erase slow things down, get that mind game, get that little air dribble, you're looking at much, much greater quality of shots. And I think that if they follow with that trend, continue that type of strategy, we're going to see the first goal for Erase. And a double commit from True Neutral doesn't lead to anything, but my goodness, things are getting very close and coming down to the wire.
Oh, they're just so eager up on top of each other. Here's AJ on the backfield to the corner for Sadness.
Pretty clear.
Great clear back their way. Ray's pulls the backflip pass to Shad. Keeps in the sky. He's going to chase this one down with the flip reset onto the backboard. Trying to pass it. Ray's Bull's in on it, and Luke just sat on the goal line. Oh,
there it is.
Follow-up from AJ, who's there. Forced him to make a save. They can't dive out of net, and AJ's got an open net to shoot at.
Oh, my goodness. Shad, he does it. Every single time he's given space, he finds a play off the backboard. Nobody was ready. The defense from Erase completely on top of each other. I just saw two players going for the same corner boost just before that play had begun. And True Neutral, regardless of the time they spend in their own half, they make it work.
This is the difference between that the accuracy can make and being accurate on every shot. In that situation, Luke's sitting on the goal line. He has, if that ball goes off the post, he's able to leave the net and go and block AJ much closer to the goal, give him significantly fewer opportunities or seemingly like less net to shoot at there. But because he had to make a save, he was completely loose, and AJ has to shoot the ball directly at Luke if Luke's gonna make the save. So AJ effectively shooting in an open net there because of the accuracy of his teammate. But here come Erase. So much pressure again here. Halfway into the game here. Oh, Ray's Bull into the corner. Bounces it off the defender. 2-0 True Neutral.
Ray's Bull comes out with this beauty into the corner. He used every ounce of boost he had to get that touch. Make sure he follows through. And they get the security in Game 7. That is what they've been waiting for.
My goodness. True Neutral. Now looking more and more efficient. They started with the onslaught in the beginning, but we've seen more shots from Erased here.
It was just a counterattack. Wavepunk, that's the crazy thing. We're back in their own half. True Neutral. They don't panic whatsoever, regardless of if they can break out of their half right away. They know the opportunity will come. Look at this. This came off of so much pressure from Erase. The kickoff went in favor of Erase, but then True Neutral held on, knew they'd win 50s, and eventually get this set up for Ray's Bull to find his second goal.
And the demolition just opening the back line. AJ gonna win his plays in the corner. Those 50-50s that he's been winning consistently all over the pitch, paying off in dividends because of the demolished goalie. Now up by 3 with less than 2 to play. Erased with their backs against the wall, have to dig deep and find an incredible comeback. PJ to the sky. He's got space. We've seen him scoring this way before. Onto the backboard, but he gets pushed too high. Oh, there's no follow-up. The brilliant setup from Erase going to go unused again.
You just need to read the plays a little bit better. It's so difficult, obviously, given the defense of True Neutral and how they're able to read every backboard touch that comes their way. But Erase, you see your own teammate making a play, move downfield, be aggressive, because you've only got 1 minute and 22 seconds left to make a difference and start the comeback, but I don't think it's going to happen. True Neutral, they've made it to every grand final in every single major, and they're not stopping here.
The dagger was already in the back, but they're twisting it now. 119 down by 4. True Neutral in Game 1 dropped 4 goals. Here in Game 7, they're returning the favor and lighting up the scoreboard. Fireworks galore on Champions Field.
Wow. And this is also revenge for True Neutral. In the Grand Series, in the second one, I believe, of this spring split, this was the exact same matchup. It was a win for True Neutral to make it into the grand finals, but they lost to Erased. And hold on a second, 58 seconds left. This could be the start of something crazy, Wavepunk. You know, other stuff has happened before, crazier things. This is it.
Love the doink shot. 4-1 now. Erased with 58 seconds left. They need a kickoff goal. Can they do it right here?
Absolutely. Well, they always take possession off of kickoffs. This is what happens routinely for Erased.
PJ.
Punish. No way. No way.
No! AJ comes in from the side and gets it away. They nearly got the kickoff goal they needed.
Okay.
But no, and now the clock will continue to burn ever rapidly. Luke having to play defense in his corner. Here's AJ with a shot, and Sadness gets a save. Erased trying their best. The pinch will put it to midfield, but Shad receives it before anybody else in Erased can get there. Luke trying his darndest to clear this one. Erased onto a backboard, but Erased Bull gets in the way. And the speed and tenacity of True Neutral, just consistently a thorn in the side of Erased. Once they played at their speed, it was all but over. Games 1 and 2 not gonna matter. 10 seconds left, and this one's going to True Neutral. They'll play against Rebel in the finals.
It's so fun to watch True Neutral hibernate on defense, wait it out, make every single backboard read they need to, regardless of how much time they spend in their own half. They are efficient with boost. Their positioning, the communication certainly is on point, and they're headed to the grand finals yet again, going against everybody on the desk. True Neutral, they're here, they're ready. That experience coming into play, and it's time now, Wavepunk. It's time.
The story remains consistent with True Neutral here, a 4-1 victory. Such symmetrical games across this series, as it just, you can literally just go look at the score lines and watch the momentum swing in True Neutral's direction there. But man, Erased putting on a absolutely brilliant series. A joy to watch, a joy to commentate here. And honestly though, I am so pumped for these finals. True Neutral versus Rebel is going to be a banger of a match, Turtle.
Oh, 100%. And with how fiery Rebel look, I mean, this is going to be a series that it's probably going to be similar to this style where it's counterattack after counterattack, but just multiplied by 10 because of how fast this region gets. When the pressure comes down, when everything is on the line, you know you're in for a good series.
Third fastest region by the math. That's what we've learned recently, and I'm excited to get there. So, want to take a quick break. When we come back, True Neutral versus Rebel in the grand finals. Stick around. You won't want to miss it.